What's up guys, Ryan here, and I want to propose that pendulums really aren't that bad. Now I know you guys are going to be getting your pitchforks and coming at me like... But hear me out. So I've been playing Odd Eyes Magician for about as long as they've been out. I've never felt like I've been able to take the meta by storm. Maybe that's my wallet, maybe that's my skill level, but regardless, I've never felt like pendulums were incredibly powerful to the point that they needed to be destroyed. I guess you could say that the link summoning mechanic kind of really nerfed that, and I really wanted to get your guys' thoughts on if that was warranted or not. So with my personal experiences with Odd Eyes Magicians is that I can play really well and do really good against maybe rogue tier or tier 2 or 3 decks. I mean, I could just raffle stomp them. I guess that's kind of where the hate for pendulums comes from, is that a lot of players, mostly casual, will be playing the slightly lower tier decks, and all of a sudden this pendulum deck comes out of nowhere and pendulum 5 on the board. But when I play a deck that's actually somewhat competitive, I'm actually having a lot of problems. First turn anti-spell fragrance, or I mean domain monarchs in general, when that was big, really shut me down. Chained twin twisters and that kind of thing also really shut down the deck. The reason I wanted to make this is because I wanted to ask you guys, why do you hate pendulums? Also, do you think that they really needed to be nerfed as much as they did in link summoning? I know the zones being in the spell and trap positions, honestly that should have been done from the beginning. Adding 2 zones on the side, that's unnecessary. Saying that you can't pendulum summon from the extra deck unless it's to a linked monster zone or the extra monster zone, really hurt the grind game of the pendulum decks. I think that was probably another one of the biggest issues that people had with pendulums, is that, you know, you battle down, you get down to like the, you know, mid to late game, and then all of a sudden the pendulum player top decks the scale they need, they complete the scale and then fill their board. As far as board filling though, I don't think pendulums are unique in that ability. When I was playing against Teller Knights, end phase called the Haunted, 5 monsters on the board next turn. Other decks just really don't have a problem with spamming the board. That is what archetypes do. And more recently, Zodiacs. They can turn 1 card into pretty much an entire board. They just need Terror Top or Barrage, and then they can make literally 3 monsters, I think, out of that, if not more, and then have a lot of disruption. Mermails have no problem summoning 4 or 5 monsters in a turn and then OTKing you. Actually, they don't really even need to make 5 monsters. They just go Megalo and attack twice, and you're like, I mean, Fluffles and Blue Eyes and even Dark Magician, after a certain amount of setup, can really throw up on the board. So, I mean, I guess going back to where the pendulum hate comes from is that, you know, mass summon happens late game, so you're able to battle through those strikes and twin twisters, and so you've depleted your opponent's resources to the point that then you can go, aha, gotcha, pendulum summon. So I want to ask you guys also, what do you think that pendulum decks will do going forward? Is pop and revive strategy going to be kind of tweaked to include links and link monsters, so that the, you know, summon a bunch of monsters, summon a link monster, and then still be able to go off as normal? Or do you think that more pendulum decks will main deck cards like Mechanical Hound or Apex Avian or, you know, Spell Cancel? I don't know, just main deck monsters that are powerful on their own, that don't rely on summoning a bunch from the extra deck. Other things that they could use would maybe be Pot of Riches or Amazing Pendulum. I'm just curious to see where the pendulum strategy will be morphed to following link summoning. Do you think that pendulums will die? Do you think that they will just play a bunch of tokens and summon Link Spider or whatever and go off like normal? Or do you think that more main deck powerful monsters are going to be introduced and used as a main strategy? It's something I've been thinking about for a while. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time. Remember, if you don't troll the meta, who will?